You're ready to go. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Alita.
My name is Oscar.
My name is Jess.
And this is our project solution, which is about mitigating transit surges through mobility optimization at TD Coliseum. There we go. So our project approach is to go through starting at looking at the event days currently and what the realities of that are, and then go through our three-pronged approach, which is safety zoning, traffic rerouting, and new event shuttles. So for the introduction.
So the issue is that we are expecting traffic surges of 18,000 people around ingress and egress times around the Coliseum. So our primary objective is to maintain residents' quality of life by rerouting traffic, implementing safety zoning, and improving access to transit. So by doing that, we can improve the concert goer experience without it being at the cost of local residents.
So as for the current infrastructure, there's no speed limit changes in place. It's all the default 50 kilometers an hour in the surrounding area. As well, there are limited traffic diversions and limited pedestrian exclusive spaces. And so our belief is that this can be improved upon, which is why in this presentation we'll discuss our methods of improving upon that.
So to start looking at safety zoning, we created a buffer map, which is a pedestrian focus map, which starts with the initial radius shown in the red here. It's slightly altered to match our traffic rerouting, but here highlights the area where we're proposing pedestrian-only area, so no traffic in. And then around this radius, we have another 500-meter ring that highlights our proposed slow traffic area. So these were done in tandem with a data table which we added onto the Hamilton Street Lines data that was provided open source, and then we added some zone fields for the zone types, and then also the traffic permitted in the area. So that would look like a zone type would be pedestrian only, and then we'd have the corresponding no traffic, and then reduced traffic, and then the corresponding speed permitted in that area would be 30 kilometers per hour. So, and then in the blue surrounding this area, that's kind of where we have the normal traffic flow, which is 50 kilometers per hour. We decided to do this because we feel like it will increase pedestrian safety in the area by encompassing all the most immediate bus stops right at the TD Coliseum. So it will allow for better mobility in that area for people walking around before and after events, servicing all the business in the area, as well as allowed for easier traffic monitoring and enforcement in the area, and then slowing traffic. We thought of this as a way to smooth kind of the traffic going in the area to stop typical high intensity stop and go congestion. So that is our buffer map.
Yes, so for traffic rerouting, my solution was to, you want to just go to the next slide? So we found that the majority of people through a recent survey attending events at the TD Coliseum are actually coming from the municipality of Toronto, and so a lot of people will be driving to events on event day. And as such, it's important that we focus on a vehicle management system. And so the way I went about doing this was by taking a spatial data set of the city of Hamilton of the street center lines, and as well as a data table of the daily car traffic on each road in the city, and using some basic SQL strings to standardize the names across them. I was able to join them together to create a choropleth street map with 5 bins. The orange is the roughly the mean total car traffic per day, with the yellow being the first and second standard deviation below the mean, and red and dark red being standard deviations above the mean. And as well, I mapped out the one-way streets as well as their directions in order to determine roughly where we should implement road closures and rerouting and detours. what we determined was that the most optimal street to close off was York Boulevard from, I believe it's Queen Street all the way until Bay Street, and or a little bit after, with an opening around this entrance into Vine Street, which is the Uber drop-off area, which allows people to access that. But the idea was that if we can close off this stretch of road, because it is one of the least trafficked arteries, major arteries around the TD Coliseum, it is the most sensible road to block off to decrease congestion around the Coliseum to improve pedestrian safety. So as Alita mentioned, this area already we plan to have a good portion of pedestrianized, and just the rest of the road generally just closed off because there's not really much to access around the area. We also converted both of these streets as of right now. One is going up towards York Boulevard, the other is going south towards King Street. But we have converted just the both of them to be one-ways towards King Street because just to funnel people back away from the closed street. And just to address any concerns about, obviously this is great for Coliseum attendees and also the neighboring residents. But as for business owners, we took a look at the businesses along this stretch and determined that the ones that would be open around the time of most events, which would be quite late, are fast food restaurants, which are actually tend to benefit from the 18,000 people on foot coming right out of the venue. And so we roughly came to the conclusion that this would knock ruffle any feathers with any potential parties. There's not a lot of disinterest, we theorized. And just lastly, we also, normally they open up, close off Bay Street. We left a little bit open for access to the parking lot, as you can see on that raceway right there.
So the last solution is our event shuttle. So to account for the rest of the traffic coming in from Toronto via transit, we're proposing a new bus route, just modifying the existing 20 A-Line Express from HSR, and keeping only 3 bus stops at West Harbour, at the Coliseum, and Hamilton Go. So this removes the cost to train drivers a new route by just keep removing existing ones while improving connectivity with existing transit lines. The Lakeshore West services Niagara to Union, and from Hamilton Go we have the Go buses servicing areas of Toronto such as Union, York, Scarborough. I digitized the vector polylines with data sourced from Metrolinx and the city open data. And yeah, we wanted to increase the frequency from 15 minutes to every 5 minutes within an hour of ingress and egress. And yeah.
Thank you.